Didn't put our tags up. I changed our title. So that's more work than I normally do.
Oh, baby steps.
Baby steps, yeah. Baby steps to greatness. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Unless it was.
Or unless it's like Valis and we never really left Rome. Have you ever
I
heard
don't
of
know.
that?
It feels an awful lot like the Roman collapse.
Yeah, have you ever heard that theory?
No.
Well, it's not really a theory, but like there's a book that Philip K. Dick wrote where like there's a thought that time is actually an illusion and that we're all actually Romans in the Roman Empire and time hasn't actually moved past that point. It's all just been all of this has been superimposed upon us by a god, like a god or some other force to make us think that things have actually done that things have gone this way. And it's like time like what was it? I can't remember exactly how they put it. They basically said like time was reality or something like that. Like whenever you see things age, it's actually the reality coming in. I'd have to reread the book. It's a pretty interesting concept.
Sounds interesting and wrong at the same time.
Well, it was one of those things like you couldn't prove it to be wrong because it's one of
Yeah.
those your senses are so altered to a point where even if you tried to like be objective about it, you couldn't.
So, speaking of time, I think it's time for your first article.
Oh, okay. Put me out in the fire squad. It's okay.
Well, look, it's don't worry. The firing squad hasn't had much practice.
Yeah, all you do is have a random ninja come in. Good. Oh, cool. So they have a stream quality option when you go to stream that does for better text read.
Oh, that's nice.
So hopefully proper. Oi, yeah, it's work. I'm not really gonna go read this whole thing because it's gonna be more of a topic than an article. So as the thing said, as the article title states, we actually had a ex software chief leave the Pentagon, right, and basically say, well, this is the media reporting on it. First of all, saying, "Oh yeah, we're fucked. China won the AI battle. You
Yeah.
know, we're pretty much screwed in the next 5-10 years." Which probably is true. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We're probably maybe not to China, but we're probably screwed in the next 5 to 10 years. And he came out and was saying that the media misrepresented him, and this is like right before the hypersonic missile news came up. So it was kind of a poignant detail over last week to couple with the fact that China, at least through the media, seems to be beating America through the missile program.
Yeah, half of me almost thinks this is just propaganda, though.
I mean, what an interesting thing I saw someone say. It's like it costs them literally 3/4 of their economic resources to launch one missile. Think of how
Yeah.
many villages had to starve for that. So there's that, yeah.
But now, whether it's propaganda for our side or against is kind of questionable because one way to make people think something is a threat is start telling them, hey, look at this. It's awful threatening, isn't it?
But whiskey, how am I supposed to know it's a threat if I don't have someone telling me that I should immediately drop everything I'm doing and looking at it? And
That's just it. You don't.
well, yeah, he came out and said, it's a bunch of bullshit. Media mischaracterized him. That we could be losing the battle in 5 to 10 years if we don't take dramatic steps to change. Which basically means we're gonna lose, because the military only takes dramatic steps towards progress and never, dramatic steps towards anything meaningful.
I mean, AI isn't a problem if we built our infrastructure to not rely on computers that are on the internet. But I mean, to hell with security, right? Just hook that shit up to the internet.
Yeah, I mean,
The,
just
the hacker 4chan won't get to it.
I'm a fan of building orbital space stations that just drop iron rods on the countries we don't like.
Ah, the good old rods from God strategy.
Yeah. Uh,
I mean, who's to say we don't have weaponized satellites and an ion cannon? We got Space Force.
fuck, you don't even need an ion cannon. Just drop the fucking thing. Make it as
Yeah,
low
but
cost as possible.
the ion cannon is for the shock and awe.
Yeah, you know what shocks and awe people? Having a fucking 200-foot fucking pound of rebar crash into their nation and devastate everything.
Look, I just want a laser that lets us write the US was here in giant ass letters across the country,
You
okay?
can do that with the rods.
It's just not as effective because then you're writing with craters at that point.
Hey, craters are a great writing medium, okay?
You know what? I don't think they are.
Just don't make a mistake. We have to start all over again.
Yeah, in a different country.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, overall, I don't think it's quite as big of a deal as the media made it out to be. Um, but it is something important to stay on top of.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. The world keeps getting darker and darker as the days go by.
Well, and there's a lot of different kinds of AI, and AI can do a lot of things. So it's like, well, what kind of AI? How's it being used? Just saying AI is pretty vague. I mean, Wolfenstein had AI. It wasn't that great at its job, but it worked. You wouldn't really want to put it in charge of a missile command, but
Like if a machine can play chess, it can play missile command.
no, you mean thermonuclear war.
Yeah, missile command. It'll be fine. My Atari could do it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure modern day computers have it down.
Oh, sure, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's not really a wide ranging topic. It was just like it's mainly the hypersonic missile coupled with this that like we're probably we're deciding it we're descending into maybe a darker era than we would like to admit, really.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right. So you remember last week, or well, last show, I should say, where we were discussing how you could how people can die really stupid ways.
Yeah.
Well, I found one. A college lacrosse player died after choking at a hot dog eating contest for charity.
Wow. Is it a woman?
I think so, yes.
She died doing what she loved.
Yeah. Maddie
Yeah, it is. It totally is. I don't mean to laugh, but really, I, oh, I how? I thought women were built for this.
So,
And it's for breast cancer.
yeah.
Ah,
So
the
a Tufts
wow.
University lacrosse player died over the weekend after choking during a charity hot dog eating contest. Maddie Nickpun, 20, took part in the hot dog eating contest on Saturday during a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness at an off campus home in Somerville, Massachusetts. Nickpun choked and fell unconscious during the contest, and after first responders performed extensive life saving procedures. I read that like that because they have quotes on it, as though it's sarcastic. She was taken to a hospital in Cambridge, Massachusetts, before being transferred to a facility in Boston. Honestly, this does bother me using quotations for emphasis instead of for sarcasm or to
Yeah.
actually quote.
What a way to die, man.
Uh,
What a way to die.
so I just kind of want to know what they're going to write on the headstone.
Oh man. That's a hard one there.
Damn
No pun
it, that
intended.
worked as a pun. Uh, yeah, so
Yeah.
that's all I really got for that one. It
That
was
story,
just
that
amusing.
story really has some feet on it. Gets me all choked up
Shit.
just thinking about
Damn
it.
it. Uh,
How
but yeah,
many
that
lives? How many lives do we have to sacrifice till breast cancer is gone, Whiskey?
how many no, how many lives do we have to sacrifice before they stop doing charity events for breast cancer? I think
Oh,
that's what you meant.
that'll never happen. Fuck, are you kidding me? That makes way too much money. Like, man, that makes a gratuitous amounts of money. Breast cancer awareness bullshit.
But yeah, I figured since we were talking about ways you wouldn't want to die because it was too comical, choking in a hot dog eating contest is one of them.
Okay, let's see here. I will drop mine here. That's a great segue in our, choking on $5, well, on foot long hot dogs is a great way to transition into Dead by Daylight selling NFTs, which I still don't get. Maybe you can explain it to me. What the fuck is the point of NFT?
Okay, so hang on. There we go. So an NFT is what's called a non fungible token. So suppose you wanted to sell a picture online and you
Okay.
wanted to designate said picture as the actual real picture. It could be
Okay.
generated and viewed using a type of NFT. And so you can create like a limited run of something that could technically be downloaded. Now, that doesn't stop anyone from copying it, but you could still be like, hey, that's not actually the original or the real one.
That still sounds so retarded. I'm
It kind of
impressed.
is. Like
It's
there's other uses for it, but that's what people are using it for at the moment. One use for it is if I recall, like let's say you purchased a product or service with Bitcoin, an NFT could be attached to that purchase to make it so, for instance, if you paid your internet bill with Bitcoin or something, the NFT could be used as a marker just to have the servers automatically keep providing service so you wouldn't have to have human intervention. So, or like if you forgot to pay your power bill and then pay it, the instant you pay it, that NFT tells the server at the power company, oh yeah, turn the electricity back on.
Yeah, so
But what it's being used for is selling like artwork that you can actually say, no, that's not actually the original copy. Kind of like you can buy copies of the Mona Lisa, but it's only the original that's worth money.
it still sounds like a really dumb thing.
Yes, it is kind of dumb, at least how they're using it.
Yeah, and so Dead by Daylight's like, hey, we gotta get in on this. They're selling Pinhead NFTs. Yeah, it's just a character model that you can interact with in the in-game, in the actual game. A viewable view thousands of images found on Google. The innovation here is that you can now pay for it. In theory, own it, which you could have done anyway using your imagination. I like how he would say, yeah, you could have done that. Yeah, it's like it's a really dumb concept. So I own the original. It's like it doesn't matter if you own the original screenshot of like Pinhead. It doesn't fucking matter. I can kind of understand if it was truly unique, right? But it just the minute you tell me, well, I could right click and save it. Someone goes, well, it's not the real one. It's like, yeah, but from a layman's perspective, if you took out the receipt you have, no one would be able to tell the difference. That's kind of that's the problem. Like with art and how I sell you a unique piece of art, no one can go right behind me and trace over it and fucking copy. There's still artistic problems with replicating that way.
Well, you do have people that actually make high quality replicas, but they
Yeah,
still are substantially cheaper. And then you have people that like print out really high quality photographs of it, and you can buy those, and they're like $10.
I can. That's more of a valid thing than this. Yes, I feel like
So
I own
it
the
would be
photo.
it's a little bit like someone complaining that instead of paying for the photographed version, you just took a picture of it yourself.
Yeah, it's so stupid. God, yeah, and so as if you could really, I mean, the Dead by Daylight team isn't the greatest, let's be honest. They kind of have crap balance in their game, and they don't really care about how well their game's doing a lot of the time, it seems. Like they do, but they don't. Dead by Daylight's never been on a great upward spiral.
But
Or a great upward arc.
Droves,
It's all been a downward spiral.
all the killer mains need to win almost every time.
Oh, that was such a stupid fucking argument. I fucking hated that. It's like you don't understand though. Like we're against 4 survivors. I can't imagine. This is the type of world we live in, right? Where like if Jason was an actual person, he would actually bitch at the end of the movie. He's like, "Oh, come on, that's total bullshit. It's not a real horror movie unless I win 100% of the time." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I do not like a lot of people that play that game.
Yeah, because whenever Resident Evil came out with its Dead by Daylight copy thing, it was people were like, "Oh my god, I love this game because I can play as Albert Wesker and I can shoot all the survivors to death from the cameras." And it's like, so your win rate was 100%. It was something like the the killer mains had something like an 80% win rate. And it was like, oh yeah, this is a perfect game. Survivors just need to learn to get good. It's like,
And then they learn to get good and they're like, oh shit, nerf.
yeah, see, that's the problem. It's like, oh my god, you guys need to get good. You're just salty, and then people get good, and even if they get good in the broken, shitty system, you're like, oh my god, I need to win like 100%, or else I'm not gonna like feel like I'm queuing in, like my queue time is wasted. Like, it's so stupid.
See, my metric for killers would be that consider them having succeeded if they kill 2 survivors in a round. Anything over that, I would consider overachieving.
I think they said that at one point. They were saying that was the ideal, was to get 2 hooks and 2 escapes. But I don't think it works out that way when you get the high level play, because like the penalties.
Or low level play.
Well, it doesn't work. What gets low level play is that you have so many fucking mechanics that are just that you can use to seal the deal on a just beginner that's terrible. Like that one thing that lets you slug people, where you just like one shot people. That's so terrible.
Yeah.
Like near the end of the game, yeah, you can just one shot people, and it's like, the thing I've been hearing about when it comes to like MMOs and stuff over the last couple years is like the beginner experience, right? Like the new player experience. And if like if a lot of MMOs are judged within like the first 5 minutes or whatever, and they work really really hard to not like give you any reason to not stop playing, I feel like Dead by Daylight needs to pick up that theory and look at it a little bit, because it's like, I'm not saying you should remove all of those type of perks, but there's a lot of perks that make the game just way less fun for both sides involved.
Well, I think another major problem, not just with Dead by Daylight, but in for a lot of games in general, they try to balance to the top 1% of competitive players.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do that. You're balancing to the lowest percentage of players you're going to have. You're just going to lose everyone else and the game's going to die out.
Yeah,
And it
there's
won't matter if you have a thriving like streaming and competitive scene if everyone who gave a shit about it leaves.
yeah, like there's some tweaking and balancing around the end game community that you need to do, but like you don't balance the whole game around it. It's not the way you do things. WoW had this problem. WildStar, well, still has.
Overwatch had that problem.
WildStar had this problem. So it's just, it'll kill your game real quick. I'm surprised Dead by Daylight's doing relatively as good as it is now.
Well, I mean, like I said before we started streaming, if we could get a group of 5 people and we just keep switching off who the murderer is, it'd probably be pretty damn fun.
Yeah.
But the problem is you get people who are dead set on just doing every bullshit trick in the book to win, like camping corpses and stuff, which just makes it unfun.
Yeah, it's doing moderately good on Twitch right now, so.
Well, since we're talking about gaming, I've got an article about a new product Razer is bringing to market. Behold, Dros. Razer's futuristic Zephyr mask is now available today. It's an N95 mask with LED.
Why?
Well, I mean, when you're gaming, don't you want to put your cool RGB LED gamer mask on?
No. I don't ever want to like wear a mask ever. Because I'm not a faggot.
So apparently, after several months of tweaking, it's ready for people to buy. You can purchase it starting tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Oh shit, we're having a midnight release for the Razer mask, guys. Make sure you line up there.
And it comes in 2 configurations. The basic kit starts at $100 and includes the mask and a carrying tote, a USB-C charging cable, anti-fog spray, and 3 sets of replaceable N95 filters to cover
Lick
your use for
my
9 days.
ass, you cunts. Oh my god.
But get this, Dros, if you want more filters included, you can pay the $150 version that gives you everything mentioned above and 33 sets of filters. Gives you a full 99 days of use of your RGB mask.
That's so wrong, dude.
And for a set of 10 filters, it's only $30.
I like this. The Zephyr is a completely different kind of product for Razer. It could be one of its most important yet. No, it couldn't. The brand is
No, it could. You know how.
how is it?
It's
Can
probably dirt cheap to make, and they're making a hell of a lot of
I
profit.
was about to say, can I put it in my goddamn computer and use it as a 3080? If not, it's not the most fucking important thing I've seen Razer put out yet.
Well, I
That
mean,
would
if
be.
you can't buy a graphics card, you might as well look like you're wearing one on your face, right?
If I saw someone wearing this, I would slap them right in the fucking face. I would slap it right off their fucking face.
I'm just waiting for like next week. You're gonna be I slapped the shit out of a guy wearing one of those Razer masks.
I live in a town where people aren't that stupid. No, I can say that.
I guarantee you, Kaze would want this.
Yeah, but he's not that stupid to walk around and wear it in public. Even he has limits. That's saying something.
The brand is known mostly for its gaming accessories. I would say entirely for those, and PC components that serve to entertain, but the Zephyr mask is aimed at keeping people healthier, while no less lit up with RGB LEDs. Damn, I can't do it with a straight face.
Yeah, just go hang yourself. Whoever decided this was an idea, go hang yourself. For the love of God. Who asks for this? Who is like, you know what? I can't buy a mask from a normal person. I've got to buy the Razer mask. Seriously, who?
Well, you know what I did wrong with this whole thing, though?
The green thing on there makes it look like he's inhaling fart gas.
No, that too.
Oh my
That
god.
too.
Get your
No.
brat mask.
What they did wrong is they should have just taken a game mask that already existed, licensed it, put LEDs on it, and then made filters for it.
No, what they should have done is that whoever was like blah 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 mask, they should have took a chair and threw it at him.
Well, I'm just saying, at least then you could be like, oh yeah, look at this, for example, this Fallout mask that also works like a mask. At least then I could kind of see the argument, but it's just I'd
The
never
only
buy it.
legitimately the only way I would see this as being a win is so I could put it in my computer and have it run fucking like games off of it. Other than that, I could care not a fucking single iota for this product. I don't know it. It could capitalize on a global crisis. Yeah, like
that's
everybody,
exactly what it is.
like fucking everybody has been, except for the people who've been suffering from the fucking global crisis.
It also didn't help Razer's cause that it didn't initially have any certification to prove that the mask would be safe to
Oh
use
God,
in a pandemic.
God forbid your fake ass funny fucking cover that doesn't actually doesn't actually stop the spread of disease isn't given the government safety sticker to prove that it does its job even though it still doesn't do it even when the sticker's on it.
And it still doesn't.
Like, what the fucking idiots? It's like, oh my god, it doesn't have the approval to do it. It's like, neither does the fucking government.
I like this. The mask is FDA registered, which basically means that the FDA is aware that the product exists, not that the agency is backing its effectiveness.
Yeah, because it's, of course you're not going to get them to do that. They're only, if your name's not like some big corporation who's funneling money into the FDA right now, you're not going to get approved for shit.
Pretty much. So Razer says it's not a medical device or personal protective equipment, and it hasn't been specifically tested against COVID. Which, then why the fuck
Fuck
are
would you
you
buy it?
selling it? As the company hasn't shared whether it's seeking further approval, it's being marketed now as an air purifier.
Oh my god, so dumb. Fucking kill me.
I mean, I guess if you were doing some kind of cosplay costume, maybe that could fit in somewhere, depending on what look you were going for. But otherwise,
What village hidden under the HIV?
hey, you never know.
Fucking oh my god, village hidden under the corona false positives. Like what hit village under the 3 vax and a booster? Just no cosplay please. That would make it even worse cuz then you're trying to validate it.
I I want them to like make Booth Babes wear an entire costume thing
This
themed around
motherfucker is
these.
this motherfucker is going into more detail about a mask that doesn't matter than he's probably gone into most product reviews that he's actually paid to do. I'm sure he's paid to do this one, but it's like the level of
Oh yeah,
detail you pay
the
to this
level
mask
he's
is kind of
stretching.
disturbing.
Yeah, the level he's stretching this out, he's definitely getting paid.
He's gonna end up like if he's not careful, he's gonna end up like that girl that died at that breast cancer awareness charity, choking on those
Someone's gonna shove
footlongs.
hot dogs in his mouth.
No, he's choking on this one pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty deep down in there. Like he's gonna need extensive medical care.
Also, I'm kind of curious who thought it was a good idea to put a window around where the mouth is.
Who thought the green was a good idea because again it makes it look like he's inhaling his own farts.
It's RGB. You can change what color it is
Yeah, but why green?
because it's your favorite color and they're marketing specifically for you.
Well, they failed. They failed pretty hard. Yeah,
But
like
yeah, you can see why I didn't want to spoil this one by
if you're
giving you the title.
if you're marketing to me, you should probably go back to the drawing board. Several years, in fact.
I like how this first picture they took too. They try to make it look like he's running or jogging with it on.
Yeah, because I mean, why you should wear a mask outside while you're jogging, even though that's not what they're for. Yeah. Man, I hate this. I hate this dystopia we live in.
Stupid and hilarious.
Fucking hate this world we live in now. So fucking stupid.
But it's the dystopia we all dreamed of, Dros.
I wish Cracker Barrel wasn't closed.
Did the Cracker Barrel by your place close down, or is it just closed for
No, I went there today, yeah, and I'm hungry again.
Okay.
Okay. We got some fun stuff here. For World of Warcraft and Blizzard. Because, you know, it's not a hate cast day without Blizzard getting in somewhere. Huh? Let's see, share. Okay. Activision Blizzard wants the California lawsuit paused to alleged ethics violation. So,
I'm sure they want it paused, but I don't think them violating ethics like they're being sued of should pause it.
no. So what's happened is that they've ran into a bit of a sticky problem. So what's happened here is that they found out that 2 of the lawyers that have been crafting the California suit against Blizzard worked with the EOC, I believe it was. They worked with them to craft the federal investigation that came before. right?
Oh,
So,
okay.
and they didn't disclose this or anything like that. So, there's this gigantic conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So, what
Yeah,
happened?
there would be.
So, what happened first was the federal government, they looked into the Blizzard thing and they're like $18 million, whatever. It's not that big of a deal, right? And then the state of California is like, whoa, 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 whoa.
We
You got
want in on that money.
Well, no, they're like, when you did that, one of the stipulations you made was that you can throw out testimony and stuff like that regarding our case, right? So we're contesting that. But then it came out, the federal government basically came back and was like, actually, you've got two lawyers on your team that work with us on our federal investigation. So if you want to start shit, you're about to get hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, they've been going back and forth. Blizzard's like, basically Blizzard's gotten to sit back and with a little bit of popcorn, sit back in the back row and chew on it while, the state of California and the federal government go after each other. Which,
what this is a lot like what we said, I think, in our very first episode or our second one when this was brought up, and we both had the opinion of, Blizzard might have done it, they might not have. Either way, they're fucked because California might just be doing something fucked up too. And lo and behold,
no.
two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, it's almost as if literally everybody in the situation is shitty, right? The federal government, absolutely terrible. The fucking state of California, probably the worst actor of all three. And then you've got Blizzard in the middle of this shit sandwich. And that's pretty terrible.
Gross. For it to be a shit sandwich, you'd have to at least have some bread in there. At
No,
this point, it's just
no, you don't. No, you don't. The double down sandwich exists. It's two chicken breasts, right? This is the double down of shit sandwiches. It's a piece of shit squished in between two lesser pieces of shit. So, Blizzard just can't get a break. Like, well, they got a break now, I guess. But they basically, hey guys, you should probably pause the lawsuit, right? Because, with you guys fighting, I don't want to get in between mom and dad right now.
I mean, it's a wise decision.
Yeah, and, like that separately, the Call of Duty and World of Warcraft publisher wants the case to be designated as complex. Ironically, complex is one of the few legal terms that is simple to define. Literally means that Activision Blizzard wants the case moved to a court that's set to handle the really tricky ones, which they can generally funnel a bunch of money into the right people. Yeah, it's just Blizzard basically got the best get out of jail free card, and unless Blizzard fucks up entirely, they have a great
Which
job.
they might.
They might have a great shot of just sliding right out of this unscathed for the most part legally.
Yeah, and just having, horrible mud on their face that their fans are pissed off at them about. But the fans have been mad for a long time.
Yeah. And so, here's another one. Activision Blizzard has shed at least 20 staff as a result of harassment investigations. So basically, they've gone out and they've called, the people who probably are the male feminists, as we were, the Karens. The type of people that go on Twitter and have big mouths and loose morals. Probably got axed. The squeaky wheels. They usually get the grease pretty quickly.
As a slight side note, that the title of the article, it makes it sound as though 20 staff left as a result of the investigations. Like, because the investigation was happening, they're like, well, I'm out. Like, I was okay with whatever was going on, but the investigations are too far.
In recent months, we have received an increase in reports through various reporting channels. People are bringing to light concerns ranging from years ago to the present, which is always great. We welcome these reports, and our team has been working to investigate them using a combination of internal and external resources based on the information received in the initial report. They are assigned in different categories, and resources are allocated to prioritize the more serious reports first. In connection with various resolved reports, more than 20 individuals have exited Activision Blizzard, and more than 20 individuals face other types of disciplinary action. This was, I imagine this was Blizzard itself. I can't see a quote. But yeah.
Hey, on the upside, just about any game developer, even if they're pretty new, can probably get a job there now because they got so many openings.
And, you know, as if, like, people go, oh, well, you know, I wonder if Blizzard, since it's under new management, does it have a ability to change? Do you think
No.
do you think the corporate structure is going to change all that much?
No, it won't.
New Blizzard co-leader under fire for selling WoW boosts. Which I'm gonna go on record here and saying that if you buy a boost in a video game, now I'm not talking about just like, is this, yeah, this is the raid boost, right? Let me see. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was. Okay, if you are selling someone a raid boost, like you're basically selling, you pay me X amount of money or gold, and I clear a thing for you that's supposed to be highly skill based so that you can walk around with a fancy title and pretend you're somebody that actually did it. Not only are you a bad person, you're ruining the game for literally everybody involved, and you should go neck yourself.
Yeah, not many games have had boosts in them that I was actually okay with.
Yeah, like, I can kind of make a argument for boosting with levels, right? Kind of. Because I have seen, I guess for Warcraft anyways, it's pretty normalized to do it. And people will literally just pay people gold to do it themselves. And I don't entirely look down on that, right? Because it's just leveling, right? If you've leveled one character, that's fine. But when people start buying like raid clears and shit like that, that's fine. Something
Yeah,
that's
it
supposed to
kinda
mean
crosses a
something.
line.
Yeah,
Like there was a game that I had even the way it worked in this game, and I think you played it for a while. It was Robotech, where if you bought like their monthly membership thing for $5 or $10, then you would get a 10% boost to all XP and money you gained. But everyone else on your team that you were playing with would also get a 5% bonus. So it actually, would benefit everyone you played with as well. And all it determined was how quickly you unlocked stuff in the game that you could use. It didn't really determine anything else about how the fight went.
yeah.
And it was a free to play game.
When you go into WoW, and there's parts of it in 14 too, you see people selling like, oh, pay me X money for this, and I'll clear Uwu or Uwu or Ultimate or whatever, like what's it called? Ultimate Coil or Perfect T, or I'll sell you the current raids here, and it's just fucking sickening, to be honest. So, seeing an actual person of the company doing it, it's even worse.
Wait, so was he selling them like in a WoW store, or was this his character selling them?
So, what he's doing is he did it two ways. What the way they normally do it is they just put an advertisement up in the party finder of the game, and it says like we'll clear for gold, gil, money, whatever, right? And they'll give you a link to a Discord or whatever, or you do whisper them and they'll tell you. But what he did here, down here, is he actually went on his Twitter, right? And was advertising out on his Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm just imagining this guy because he's their current leader. It's probably not even a character he leveled. It's probably got like GM items and shit on it.
Even if he did, I don't even care. I don't care if it's GM or whatever. I don't even care if you earned your character
Oh, I'm just
100.
saying it's probably even worse than like a regular player offering to do it.
Yeah, it's like, just no, you shouldn't be selling runs as someone part of the company. First of all, that's kind of that's vaguely conflict of interesty, it feels, because you can trade WoW gold in for money. And you being
Yeah.
a vice president of the company, you're actively influencing gold sales at that point.
Which your company keeps saying you don't support.
And it's just uh, that it's one of those that doesn't that's not a good look. If it's not illegal, which I'm sure it's not, but like it's still not a good look. It's one of those like, wow, dude, really?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, and like someone else, this is what this is a couple replies to it. Unsub now. If you can't see how making a tweet like this hurts the community, you should quit your job. Boosting hurt the game so much, you should work how to fix that and not boost yourself. Guilds need money, but that need killed all chat channels. Oh yeah, but that need killed all chat channels and causes more problems. Boosting is the main reason I left WoW. Leadership doing this looks like I may never return. Sag. Yeah, it's just, wow. Are you actually kidding me? Like, let's see. Oh, it's not gonna lead me to the actual tweet. Gaming is a unified force. Let's see.
uh
Yeah.
just the first person posting the meme. You were the chosen
One.
one.
We have to we have to have a player on top, hence why he boosts. It's the only way to make decent gold in short time. No, it's not. Get off your high horse thinking you're WoW Jesus and play the game. What a faggot. People on the WoW forums don't seem super stoked about all the retail related changes. RRT momotes. Might want to give it a look over. Mythic rating, absolutely infuriating. Half the game can't do mythic. I'm going to... Oh, fuck off with that shit.
That just sounds like someone bitching for no reason. Because I'm pretty sure Mythic is their highest tier of rating, right?
I like this. Head up, shoulders back, 24/7. Just, yeah, dude, I hope your game fucking dies. People like you, seriously, I hope Warcraft dies. I hope Warcraft dies so badly, and these people have to sit there and grasp at this dying, shitty SJW filled game where they justify literally the worst behaviors ever. And they go, well, someone's gotta be at the top, so it doesn't matter. It's like, you should go find a pit of boiling oil and just dive headfirst into it. And you should take this faggot who's selling runs and co-president of the fucking company with you.
Yeah, it's just so bad. I don't understand why some people will just try and defend anything and everything that's indefensible. Because they exist, as we can see here.
Like that, because he plays at a high level. I'm confused as to why him enjoying the game he works on has anything to do with the state of the game. Because you're actively ruining the game by selling people runs, which can be bought with real money. Because WoW sells gold. So you're basically having the boss who's acting as a secondary shop where you can buy clears.
Pretty much.
And it's not. He plays at a high level though. It's okay. If he was out there, just fine. What if the people that raped the employees in Blizzard played at a high level? Would it be okay? Would it be okay then? Because I mean, they played at a high level. I don't see what they do after work.
If I answer this the way I want to, YouTube will immediately.
Yeah, because it's a really dumb argument. It's like, oh wow, he's doing something wrong, but he's really good though.
Yeah, but he's really good at doing wrong things.
Like, it just the level of bullshit. And then we get on to the last little bit of WoW shit, because that's just gonna infuriate me if I keep going at it. Is that they renamed a character based on Cannibal Corpse frontman Corpse Grinder, because he had a song that came out that was not exactly down with the homosexuals, we'll say.
So, was his name Corpse Grinder to start with?
The character known initially, wait, the band member or the character?
Character.
The character, yes.
Okay.
Gorg the Corpse Grinder. Yeah. Encountering the game's Vorian Tundra region, Orc Commander, just like for Night Elves and Gnomes, can share the latter one. The Gnomes are terrible. Yeah.
I mean, what would they have done if the Orc had that name and it happened to be independent of the band? Like, it wasn't intentional.
Oh, okay, so he called the Alliance Homo Alliance and called the Horde's rival faction fucking emo cocksuckers. That's a quote, YouTube. Israel's watching.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
The interview made an appearance at BlizzCon, Blizzard's gay ass fucking fan fest. To issue apology. Should never apologize, by the way. However, in-game's character name stayed until now. Yeah, I like that. Stayed until now. It's like, yeah, we didn't care. See, that right there shows you how LGBT or whatever the fuck friendly they are. It's like, yeah, it's fine. And then like hitting for sexual assault. Oh, that shit's gotta go. People are paying attention now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
just a
no.
Quick, try and make them less angry at us move.
Stop auto-playing videos, you... So... Oh my god. It's so terrible. Just... Again, I hope their game dies. I hope World of Warcraft fucking dies. I am enjoying watching 14 slowly drain the fucking life out of Warcraft, like one of those Asian dancers who are like expert fighters and they just cut you by 1,000 cuts and you just slowly die by the blood loss. That's what WoW is doing right now through its own fucking drunken haphazard behavior, and 14 just shredding it to pieces. I want it to die. I want it literally to be left like WoW is put on fucking maintenance mode and they can never do another expansion. The IP itself dies. I want no more Warcraft shit ever again.
I mean, yeah. See, all of this kind of makes me glad I was never really emotionally or invested time-wise into WoW.
I was, damn it. I was. I mean, honestly, they lost me at Pandas. Like, see, unlike everybody else, you're like, oh, you're gonna keep playing WoW with Pandas. I'm like, no. Cancel subscription. Like, it was, I remember the announcement. I remember, because there was a rumor, and they're like, oh my god, guys, they're gonna drop Pandaland. And I'm like, I remember saying to my guild, I'm no lie, guys, if they drop Pandaland, I'm unsubbing. Like, immediately. And then he went to BlizzCon, they're like, oh my god, guys, guess what? Pandaland. I'm like, oh my god, guess what? I'm canceling my subscription. Yeah, so that lost me entirely there. And so ever since that, like, Blizzard's just been going downhill more and more. I've gone back for some of the expansions just to see, because it's like an old girlfriend, and you go and you check up on her every so often, see how she's getting on. And with WoW, it's like that girlfriend who started doing meth. And so like you just see a little more of her die each time you go to her, and you're like, oh well.
Yeah, I remember you telling me how bad some of the dailies has gotten.
Yeah, like, cause like it's hard to say now, because like when I told you that was BFA, right? And BFA was like, because the problem with WoW is whenever they release an expansion, all the content in the previous expansion becomes immediately obsolete. You will never do it again. Unless you're doing it for like costumes or something, or achievements.
Yeah, because their entire design philosophy is parasitic design.
Yeah, so like all the titles and all of that stuff, that all becomes meaningless, really. Like you can tell someone you got the title for ahead of the curve or whatever, but it really doesn't mean that much. Like it does, but it doesn't really. I mean, by the time you're applying to your next guild, it doesn't matter. And even more so when you have a fucking president that's selling clears, that means even less.
What, you mean someone who paid to just have an achievement handed to them, their achievement is worth less than the person who persevered and worked hard for hundreds of hours to get it?
Huh,
Nonsense.
I don't know. Let's ask every Ivy League school in existence right now. Fucking, it's just, it's one of those things. It just shows a lack of principle, right? It really does. Like, these are the people that are running World of Warcraft. Not to turn this into like a World of Warcraft fucking podcast, but like, these are the people that are running this game. These are the absolute moralist dickbag faggots that think they have the right to stand above you and preach to you morality about sexuality and all this other bullshit, while they actively do the things that they preach against, and they ruin the game that they're a part of. And then they go, I wonder why our game's dying.
It just reminds me of that Simpsons clip. Am I out of touch? No, no, the children are out of touch.
Like, just, I want to choke him. It's seriously like, it's the type of person I would just grip my fucking fingers around your neck and choke you to every last ounce of fucking wind was out of your goddamn lungs. Because it's like, you are such a flaming hypocrite bastard. You are the type of person that goes and ruins something for somebody else and then complains about why that thing isn't around anymore.
No, worse. They ruin it for someone else and then complain, why aren't people still paying us to ruin it for them?
Yeah, it's just so frustrating.
It's okay, Dros. You still have 14.
Yeah, and that's a good segment into kind of what I want to see. There's a small clip I had. Let's see. Here we go. I don't care if I'm spoiling a lot of the articles for that. Okay. Not that the title will kind of say it. So pretend like you're not looking at the title. But this was a piece of a interview out of a hour, 2 hour long conversation he had with WoW players, because Asmongold and Rich Campbell aren't. I mean, they've been playing 14, but they're known as WoW players. So, like, and these are people that have been shit on by the WoW developers. Like, the WoW developers have gone on on Twitter and talk shit about both of these people.
Yeah, I remember some of the whispers and fallout that were going back and forth because of
Yeah,
that.
And it did, so it's like, this is the comparison. This is the fucking comparison. This is an actual developer and producer who cares about the player base. And look at the fucking contrast. Watch the fucking contrast. Like, tell me after you watch this clip if you think this man would buy a boost in Final Fantasy 14.
お互い見れた方がよりね楽しいし安心
Here it
な
comes.
のでね。
For sure. And I've heard my friends talk about this, and I feel it sometimes too, with some MMOs. They wonder, do these developers even play their own game? But with us, like a lot of the developers on Final Fantasy 14 are warriors of light ourselves. We go to the raids, we collect our Allegan tomestones to exchange them.
Look at how red both of us got, man. We are so red, like, dude, we actually look like we just exploded, man.
お互い
Yeah, I think, oh, that's not the original clip, but like, holy fuck, man. It's
yeah, I mean, honestly, that's a big problem with a lot of games. Is the developers don't actually play it. They don't set aside time to go, I'm going to play this today like a regular player and not someone who's testing to see if something works or not.
But yeah, to answer his question, yeah, they do play their game, just in a very depressing fucking manner. The ones that do play, they take advantage of the shittier parts of the community. Like, it's just night and fucking day. Just, man, how can you even, at this point, how can you even play Warcraft? Like, I would never go to Warcraft ever again after this point. Like, I will never give Blizzard a single iota of money ever again. If I want to play Warcraft, I'll go play on a fucking private server.
I mean, you end up with a better community there anyway.
Yeah. Surprisingly. I mean, again, I'm glad that my guildmaster turned on me the when he did, so that I just could exit out of Warcraft nonchalantly. Because what's funny is, you know, I liked Classic and all, but as soon as I left Classic, my life improved. Like,
Classic was
overnight.
okay.
Well, I mean, it's like when you're raiding, and you're raiding with these type of people, like the Warcraft type of people, your life, it becomes a job, and they hold you to the dumbest fucking metrics you could ever be held to. Like, oh, were you not on 4 hours before a raid and going touring the world to grab world buffs? Then you're not a good player. It doesn't matter about your performance. It matters about your, about the buffs you gather. Or, oh, did you make a mistake? It doesn't matter how many times you've done this right, or it doesn't matter what you've done in the past has really saved the team. That one mistake, that's the one thing they'll never gonna let go. And you'll be benched for it. And it's just, it's such a asshat community, to be honest. Like, I can see why people in 14 just don't want Warcraft players.
Well, hopefully a lot of them that have been moving over to Final Fantasy 14 are going to become reformed.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it a lot. Like, I've seen WoW players literally completely change and be like, oh my god, I haven't, like, people don't treat me the same here and stuff. It's like, yeah, because it's not the same. Like, we don't, like I said, 14 is like this weird neutral ground. Like, he says it in, I can't remember if it was this one, but there was an interview I was watching where he said, like, I don't want to, I don't want 14 to be a place where weird politics are brought up and stuff like that. It's a game. We all came here to enjoy a game. And that right there, right there. You know 14's not gonna have a patch next expansion. They're not gonna have the next expansion is gonna be, you're not gonna walk in and see a village of all black people talking about how whiteness is like the cause of the end of the world.
Well, you're also not gonna, join to find out that they're replacing pixelated pictures of women laying on a couch with a bowl of fruit.
Yeah. Conversely, you're probably not going to see them like gathering up Jews in concentration camps and exterminating them. Right? It's like, it's not a place for that. It's neutral ground. It's a game. And WoW's lost that on a lot of aspects too. Like, I remember the lore snippet they dropped a little while ago where they're like, oh my god, there's 2 gay something or others on a planet that's one of the Elun's champions, so we know that there's gay aliens that can also channel the moon like night elves. It's like, wow, that's such thank you. Without that lore snippet, I'd be so fucking blind in the World of Warcraft. That just illuminates my fucking mind to a brand new world of possibilities in the World of Warcraft universe. Yeah, thank you for that fucking snippet. I needed to know that 2 fucking aliens go off and fuck each other in the bushes in a homosexual way, instead of something important like, what your plot actually fucking means, or what's the point of fucking life in the universe, or what's the point of the fucking villain you're trying to hype up. No, it's really important that I know you have 2 gay aliens on a planet that also know how to channel the moon.
But Dros, that piece of lore is important to everyone who ERPs on a regular basis.
Even people who ERP don't want to do that. Like, even they don't want that shit. Like, they want an actual plot they can base shit off of. Right? Like, Jesus Christ. Even people like that have standards. And Blizzard's not even meeting those. It's not that hard. Like, you can't, whenever a loon comes out of a bush and she's like, yeah, I sacrificed all my night elf people because I'm a goddess who's all powerful to save the Shadowlands. And then they're like, wait, didn't you know that like the Maw's a thing and that like all the souls like go into like a giant drain? And she's like, what? It's like, doesn't seem like you're that powerful of a goddess. Not many people want to make fanfics of you getting fucked behind that bush now. Because you've thus lost a tremendous amount of respect. Not many people are going to want to dress up like you and get fucked as you or anything like that. Like, people actually make porn of good characters, not of bad characters. That's the best way to put it. Like, for example, here's a great fucking example, right? How much porn did you see floating around when Tracer was straight?
That's a good point.
Yeah, how much did you see after they said she was gay?
Not a whole lot.
Well, there's a reason for that. And it's probably more to do with Overwatch's decline, but it's definitely is related in some ways. It's just like when you make characters terrible, no one wants to like draw fan art of them being dicked or whatever. Like, people don't care.
Yes, the quickest way to kill anything. Apathy.
Yeah, that's why there's like millions of pictures of your Stola taking D from like the fucking cat guy in 14. But there's not like fucking there's not like billions of like pictures of a loon getting it on with like a night elf druid or something, right? It doesn't happen. Like, it's because it's not a good character.
Yeah, but Blizzard's been devoid of creativity for a long time.
Like, what's even funnier is it's not even an SJW thing, I don't think. Because as weird as it is, I've seen a project that's been under full SJW control, right? And it's been completely like crowdfunded and stuff, and it still has more personality than anything that you see out of a lot of the corporate stuff.
That's probably because corporate stuff tries to appeal to literally everyone, and by doing so, appeals to no one.
Yeah, I mean,
At
that's
least hardcore SJW stuff can appeal to hardcore SJWs.
it's just it's just one of those things. Like over the past 2 years, I've kind of definitely seen like the mix and seen that like yeah, it's definitely not it's not all lefties. It's definitely some of the cancerous corporate culture that just like bleeds the soul of anything dry. And it's good to see that even communism isn't like it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, communism is like one of the true evils," and it is. But apparently, corporatism is of a higher scale because it can drain the soul out of communism, and that's pretty impressive. Like, when you can when corporatism's like, no, we can put that hammer and sickle, we can put it on a beanie, and we'll make money. It's like, wow. When you can take fuck the system, right? And you can put it on a t-shirt and sell it to people, you know you've already won.
That's an incredibly good point right there.
Yeah. That's where I am today.
I'll tell you what, there's something else that's not been having a good time. The there we go. Twitter users took just 2 hours to get into Truth Social and create dummy accounts for Donald Trump and Mike Pence, exposing the beta site's vulnerabilities. That's the new social network Donald Trump was.
Yeah, I heard about this. Which, I mean, much like many things Donald Trump is going to be planning to do, it's going to fail.
Yeah, this is hours after he announced the social media platform. Twitter users had already found their way onto the beta site. I mean, I don't know what they expected. They knew people were going to try to do stupid shit.
Because they're so boomer, they don't expect anything. The first time they did this, he released a fucking blog. And then this time, it's like, I guarantee you it's gonna come out and it's gonna be like the most bare bone featured bullshit that barely anybody wants to use. It's just gonna be a fucking clone of Twitter back in like when Twitter started. And then no one's gonna use it because it's not good. Like, I realize alt tech needs time to build up, but you would think someone like Donald Trump could build up pretty fucking quick, or at least hire someone that would, you know, have the know-how to build a decent UI and I guess like social media loop or whatever, you know, whatever shit you need to build a social media. But
Yeah, but I think Trump has one distinct character flaw that prevents him from doing that.
what's that?
He wants to be the one in charge of everything. So he can't just be like, you go make me an awesome social media site. He's got to tell them exactly how everything has to work.
Yeah, it's like you can still be in charge, you just don't micromanage every little aspect of it. I mean, at the same time, you kind of have to, because if you're gonna have someone build you a thing like this, you know, you probably should micromanage it so they don't try to sneak something into the batter. But you know, the world's a fucked place anyway, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of other fun stuff you can do. Like when signing up to a website, you can actually cause some pretty bad database problems if you put in the username null, Null, in all caps. So, like, if they don't check for that kind of thing and prevent it, because anything that returns without a value returns null. So I vaguely remember someone doing that on a video game. They named like their character and account that, and because of some glitch, they like, I forget what exactly happened, but effectively they were ridiculously rich in the game and stuff because anything
Yeah.
that comes back null would basically belong to them.
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
So yeah, that's really all there is to this article. There's not really much more going on other than that it happened. I just thought it was a little silly.
Yeah, I don't think.
Apparently, it's supposed to actually launch in 2022. So I guess I could give them the benefit of the doubt that like not all their security stuff is up because they're just building it still. But
Yeah, I have no faith in Trump at all. I don't think many other people should either. Like, he's the best alternative we have right now, I guess. But that's not exactly like, first of all, it's not a great alternative, and second of all, it's not gonna work a second time. You're trying to like throw a brick through a window, right? That was already shattered, and then someone put up a metal fucking one of those metal cages behind the thing. So you need a much bigger brick this time.
yeah, pretty much. Also, the name of the social media site isn't that great. It's Truth Social.
Yeah, like, couldn't have come up with something better. That I looked at that, I was just like, that's gonna fail. That's Parlor, not even Parlor 2.0, right? Because at least Parlor had a unique name, design, feature set, but Trump's is just gonna be like whatever his vlog was.
Well, and apparently Parler was starting to gain traction until uh what was it? The payment processors that other social media platforms got to drop them.
Yeah, I miss Streamy though. That was what I missed.
Missed what?
Streamy. There was this website called Streamy, and you could basically do anything on it. It was fucking grand, dude. Like, it was the best streaming website ever. You could do whatever you wanted on it. Everything was functional. Like, and then basically they doxed the owner of the website and his wife, and it scared them off, and he canceled the website.
Oh, that sucks. Would have been cool if he made the code open source so anyone else who wasn't scared could take over.
Yeah, but that's again, it's the world. That was before I was still back in Trump days too. Yeah, that was a fun community. You could go on there and see like Medicare videos and like Medicare videos, Murdoch videos, all the stuff YouTube currently is blacklisted. You know, all the stuff you're not supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
Let me see if I got another.
Yeah, I'm out of articles now.
Shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
So the show
No.
hangs in the balance, totally reliant on you for its content.
Damn it, I pulled out a tab from my other window and fucking started playing the video. Like, shout out to Squarespace. Like, no.
I mean, if they want to sponsor us, I'm cool with that.
Okay,
They're not going to.
This is a little old because it's developed a little bit past this. But we can talk about this for a little bit as a closer. And it fits his show name, so. Okay. Netflix just fired the organizer of the trans employee walkout. So, Dave Chappelle.
If I were in charge, I would literally fire everyone.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle came out with a special, where he made fun of a tranny friend he had that made fun that they basically bullied into committing suicide. The alphabet community.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh man, you're harmful to trans people. You are, not us. You are. So if you don't, like we're gonna walk out of Netflix because you're bad and you're homophobic and transphobic and all the ists and the phobes and the keywords. You're those. We're walking out, and then the Netflix boss, I guess, was a Chad, and it's like, ha, ha, he's on the right side of history, you idiots. You're fired.
Yeah, until later when he walked back his stance, didn't he?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh, well, that. I remember hearing that they walking out now and stuff like that. I haven't checked up on it. I haven't done any follow up on it.
Yeah, because what I heard, and I don't know how accurate it was, is like he was apologizing for some of what he said and did.
Who, Dave Chappelle or the manager?
The CEO.
Well, you know my rule on apologizing.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You don't apologize to the mob. It's never good. You're not fucking doing what you're supposed to be doing. Let's see. Apparently, this is the thing I see here.
But yeah, I would have fired every one of them, and not because they think what we were doing was wrong or anything like that, or because their ideology is different. I'd fire them because they walked out of the job, and I'm like, okay, well, you just walk off the job, you're fired. I'm hiring someone else.
Jon Stewart talking about shit. Yeah. Wow, they're really going out against these guys. Yeah.
It's just like if I had a business and people went on strike, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, you're all fired. I'm never hiring you again. Bye.
Obviously, I screwed up that internal communication. Hold on, this is what he said about the process it was handled. Obviously, I screwed up that internal communication. I did that, and I screwed up in two ways. First and foremost, I should have led with a lot more humanity. Meaning, I had a group of employees who were definitely feeling pain and hurt. No, they weren't. From a decision we made. And I think it needs to be acknowledged up front before you get into the nuts and bolts of anything. How you bigot? How dare you? You dare you assume we have nuts and bolts? I didn't do that. That was uncharacteristic for me, and it was moving fast.
Some of them have nuts and bolts. They're robosexual.
We were trying to answer some really specific questions that were floating. Yes, Whiskey, but they all don't have nuts and bolts. To assume that some of them do, but all of them do, some of them is fine, but all of them, and your assumptions are bigoted anyways. Because how do you know they are identified as nuts and bolts?
They are. And all of them are probably gender fluid anyway, so at any moment they could be robosexual.
Of course, storytelling has real impact in the real world. Yeah, it does, but that's something we don't even do anymore. I reiterate that because that's because it's why I work here. It's why we do what we do. The impact can be hugely positive and be quite negative. Reminder that Netflix has cuties on its roster of things you can watch. Remember, that's the reason why he does the things he does, right? Remember that when he says that. So I would have been better in that communication. They were joining a conversation already in progress, but out of context. But that happens. Internal emails go out. In all my communications, I should lean into the humanity up front and not make a blanket statement that could land very differently than it was intended. Yeah, it's like, what a faggot. Don't apologize. And now Dave Chappelle's like, I'll listen to you, which is even worse. But it's whatever.
Yeah, they finally broke him.
I mean, realistically, Dave Chappelle has never been like the most hardline person when it comes to it. Like what happened with his show back years ago. Like,
honestly, I've never really followed him, so.
Well, like I heard a mixed version of a story very recently, But whenever he was getting renewed for the Chappelle show, um I vaguely remember like he ran off to Africa, and I can't remember exact. I think he wanted more money or something like that, and they were just like, "Lol, no," and so he ran off to Africa and wouldn't do Chappelle's show. And so they actually had Wayne Brady come in and finish the second season. And
Kind of funny.
yeah. And so it was weird. Yeah, so I heard recently that it's because they had like a racial dispute or something like that, and which makes a lot more sense. But yeah, so it's like
it would have been funnier
what's that?
if they just found someone else with the same last name and were like, "Hey, you want to be the host of the Chappelle show?"
Yeah, it. Oh, like I basically, it's one of those things. Like I like Dave Chappelle, he's funny and all, but like I wouldn't be surprised if he just ends up apologizing too, because he's never been like he's never took strong stances on things. Like he's a comedian, that's not what he does. So your thoughts?
I mean, I just don't think I don't think he should have apologized. The CEO, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, but he's CEO mouth. He doesn't have a spine by definition of working in a corporate structure anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it would be nice. Be nice just every now and then. Or maybe not every now and then, but more common than currently. If you'd get people to actually be like, you know what, I'm going to stand by what I said.
Yeah, we're slowly getting there. Slowly. It takes time. Like,
Yeah, but I want it before I'm old and feeble and can't enjoy it.
yeah, but that's the problem, right? This process started when we were young. So, it'll probably finish out when we're old. And we have to sit here and fucking and sit through all the agonizing steps while the people that actually get to profit from this grand glorious metamorphosis of society, like they're gonna get the benefit from it, while they'll have like flying cars and shit because we finally expelled these assholes out. Or they might just be dead, or they might be turned into like protein paste or the new like SJW army that can only be fed off of vegan foodstuffs, but abortion, like rejected abortion cells aren't considered, meat because it's a human.
As retarded as that is, I could see that being a legitimate argument.
Yeah, it's just a clump of cells, whiskey. It's not meat.
And let me reiterate, when I say a legitimate argument, I mean an argument they would actually make.
Yeah, we're not far.
Like not an argument that's literally legitimate.
Yeah, I mean, you're a bigot for eating beef, whiskey. You should be eating the abortion burger.
To hell with that. I just found out one of the local ranches, because they're having trouble doing some marketing, is going to be selling cuts of meat for $5 a pound. And seeing that hamburger in the grocery store is up to like almost $7 a pound here.
Oh fuck!
Hell yeah!
Yeah, that's not bad.
Get me some fresh steak for $5 a pound. This is what the big ass deep freezer's for.
Yeah, it's just, I hope shit gets better soon, but it's not looking like it.
Well, typically things have to get pretty fucking bad before they get better. I'm imagining Venezuela bad before it gets better.
No, I don't think it'll get that bad.
Well, yeah, we have more infrastructure to start with.
Yeah, and we have just more local community based stuff. Like that's kind of the bad thing about America when you try to control it, is that we have so many little pockets of communities that you gotta like take an individual approach to.
Well, and there's so many people and so much land, it's very difficult to police if they're not going to police themselves for you.
Oh yeah, it's true. Of course, Mr. Government. Let me help you crack that whip, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, just as soon as you sign these forms.
Let's see.
It's like the one guy who was doing a Space Station 13 video, and he's like, yeah, I want to work in cargo because I can do the one thing everybody hates, and that's make them do paperwork to get their shit. Like, you have to fill out your name, the purpose you're asking for it for, what you wanted, and sign at the bottom. And like at the bottom of the page, it says, if you do not have a pen, please immediately sign this piece of paper and you'll be issued one.
Yeah. I saw this too just now. Out of my peripheral. Just
Oh.
welcome to day 3 of the Hunger Games, gentlemen.
Well, you know, it gets better about Chicago and the police.
What's that?
So I think it was is either like 2 or 4,000 of their police walked off.
Yeah.
And it's something like 40% of their police force is like, yeah, fuck you. We're not going along with this. And then Chicago's like, oh well, we'll still manage. Well, what people don't know is what happens when they're low on cops is they usually issue requests from like the suburban areas that aren't technically like Chicago.
Yeah.
Right? They're different departments. And a lot of the other departments have been saying, yeah, we're not going to
Do
answer
it, do it.
requests. You're on your own.
Yeah, you saw this a lot last year when they were like defund the police, blah blah blah, and they defended the police in the cities, and they were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna like outsource all the police that we're not paying for, out to people, out to the other surrounding counties, and bring in fresh faces, and they're like, no. Yeah. Pretty funny situation. I watched the entire system backfire on the ones that are counting on it the most. And for a change, it's not like the poor people. It's the people at the top.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. I didn't think I was going to use this article, so I didn't originally grab it, but since we're talking about it, I'll pull it up here real quick. So give me a second to set up my stream again.
Yeah, my cat's dying behind me.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
So the original article I saw wasn't from MSN, it was from the actual news outlet. But no vaccine, no problem. Indiana recruits Chicago cops upset by COVID mandates. With thousands of Chicago police officers at odds with the city's new vaccine mandate, officials in the neighboring state of Indiana are trying to recruit disgruntled cops, some of whom are being punished for not complying. As of October 15th, all of Chicago Police Department's roughly 12,000 officers are required to share their vaccine status. Outlets report, and those who aren't vaccinated have to get tested twice weekly.
I like this here. Hey, Chicago police officers, we're hiring.
Yeah.
No vaccine mandate, lower taxes, great schools, and welcoming communities.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, there you go. That's on point. That right there, that's your grind game on point.
Yeah, that's basically being like, hey, you could do the same job, but you could get paid more, get better benefits, enjoy a better community that doesn't hate you, and you can do it over here.
Where do I sign up? Yeah.
It says Chicago police officers who don't follow the new rules can have their pay and their powers suspended. And I believe, yeah, their pay and power. So it's basically suspension without pay. As of Tuesday, at least 21 have faced those consequences. Roughly 2/3 of Chicago's officers have submitted their status into Chicago's database. Let's see. Oh, this means around 4,000 officers have not shared their vaccine status. So, yeah, they could be losing 4,000 out of their 12,000. That's a pretty big fucking chunk. And in a place that already has massive crime problems.
Oh, I like this. For an NPR, a judge has ordered the local union president, John Catanzara, stop making statements. The city attorney also accused Catanzara of municipal sedition and treason.
Yeah, basically, I'm guessing he's against them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a terrible situation, man. We're
See, what I would do upon the judge ordering me to stop making statements is immediately file a federal suit because he's infringing on my freedom of speech.
well, it depends, I think. If you're speaking within the capacity of the union, he might have the ability to actually stop you there.
But speaking in your capacity in the union is not the same as speaking in your capacity as an officer of the city. The union is not government owned, so
But they're not saying it's not saying he's part of the city. He's just saying he's being treasonous towards it.
which is also false.
Like they're just saying that ideally, this is how I read it, is that he's making statements as union president to tell the police officers, stand for your rights, don't let them bully you and stuff like that. And then the judge is saying you can't say that as union president. So, like, if you get into a union meeting, you couldn't tell someone, and they asked, am I able to protest this? You would have to tell them no.
Except that the city cannot directly control the union. The union is a totally separate thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know laws. I just assumed that you had some legal responsibility as a union member.
Nope. A union is just a bunch of people that have come together and have decided to collectively bargain with their employer.
Well, aren't like official unions a thing, and they actually have like legal responsibilities and things? I mean,
No.
Well,
Like not the legal responsibilities you're thinking of. Like they'll have a union charter,
okay,
which is what they make when they form, that basically outlines what the job of the union is.
yeah, I'm out of my water when it comes to unions, so.
But yeah, they're not like an official government entity or anything.
Well, I didn't think they were like a government entity, but I thought they had at least some legal responsibility. Like, I figured if you were the president of a union, right? It's like a business, for example. If you are a president of a business and you speak as like you go into a meeting, you're speaking in the capacity of being a president of that company. Anything you say in that meeting directly reflects upon the company.
Yeah, but if you're the president of the company and you said things that the city doesn't like, the city doesn't get to tell you to stop saying it.
It's true.
So as long as he wasn't doing it in his capacity as an officer as though he were speaking for the department, he's okay.
Well, the way they might try to frame that, again, not lawyer, is that you're trying to make statements against health, because I've seen this a lot, that even though you're not, they're trying to say that you're actually trying to make like broad health statements or some bullshit like that, and they're contesting that, not your right to actually say it.
My contesting of that argument would be pretty simple. It's just, look, I'm actually for health. I'm telling the officers that don't want to do it, they shouldn't, and they should look for employment elsewhere.
Yeah,
That
it's
way
just,
they don't get other people sick.
it's just they're trying to use semantics.
Oh yeah, no. And the thing is, you can just twist the semantics right back on them.
Yeah, it's just terrible situation all around. I keep using it as a crutch, stop. But just, what would you do really, other than just go to Indiana at that point?
Alternatively, if you're the union president, you could just be like, "What are you gonna do? Arrest me?"
They will, yeah.
It's kind of like going to the police chief and being like, "You're breaking the law," and then you just get laughed out of the station.
Well, that just shows like a bad part of the power, because if you're actually breaking the law as a police chief, you should actually,
Well, yeah, I'm just giving an example. It's not something I imagine really happens.
I mean, I imagine it happens in New York all the fucking time.
But yeah, it's just bullshit. The other thing is, a lot of people on Twitter apparently are calling everyone who's being told you either do your job and get vaccinated or we fire you, who's just being like, okay, I quit. They're like, oh, they're terrorists. It's because the socialists realize that if the people who aren't interested in socialism and being told what to do walk away, then there's not going to be anyone to make their free shit.
Oh, well, there will be. It's that it encourages other people to do the same. That, and they want total control, right? Because like, look, every time you see these articles, it's like 83%. Like, the overwhelming majority of people have done it. It comes down to a couple percentage of people that don't want to do it, and they're like, no, you gotta do it.
Well, hang on. I will point out. Let me find the number again. Because it said 83% of officers have told the department their vaccination status. It didn't say they were all vaccinated. They've just told the department what it was. So if they're not vaccinated, here it is. They have to get tested twice weekly. So you can technically not take it as long as you're willing to go through the trouble of getting a test, which I would still say is bullshit.
Yeah, because all they're gonna do is...
In fact, what should have happened is when they announced the mandate in Chicago, what really should have happened is all these officers that don't like it should have immediately marched to the mayor who mandated it, arrested them, and said, you've overstepped your powers and you're committing treason against the citizens of Chicago.
Yeah, but that would be a just world, right?
So, I mean, if they had done it, they wouldn't be sitting through this bullshit now, would they? It to quote, if the emperor had text-to-speech, sometimes when people are being unreasonable action is required.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person that recognizes, oh, this person's being unreasonable now and will continue to be unreasonable in the future. Well, instead of waiting till the future, let's just take unreasonable action now. So that we don't end up living in a 1984 style police state.
What, you don't want to live in a dystopian nightmare where your entire identity is based on a couple of very visible and kind of uniquely ambiguous character traits like race and sexuality?
No.
Well, you're gonna have to go and follow the red line to the incinerator.
Also no.
We couldn't find guards that were vaccinated, so you have to throw yourself in.
Also no. But yeah, that's all I got. I just thought since we were mentioning the Chicago police, that would be a good article to bring up.
Yeah, that's most of what I've got too. I got ran
I
into all
guess
my.
that's a wrap for our show then.
Yeah, just some closing moments of depressing black pilledness, I guess.
It's okay, Dros. The
Hey,
night is always darkest before the dawn.
our thumbnail doesn't look bad. It's good.
Excellent.
Let's see.
Are you gonna stop the stream?
Not yet. I'm gonna see if I can't find. I'm gonna see if I can find a clip to end this out on. No, it's fine. Yeah, we'll end it here. I'll have a better clip for next time.
All right. Well, that was the HateCast. Anyone who happens to watch it knows the drill. Like, comment, subscribe,
Feed the algorithm.
or just call us names in chat. That's cool too.
All engagement is good engagement. Yeah, you know what to do.
You are dismissed.